bad trader. Wah, wah, wah. Well, I don't know what's happening with the Fed, but it's just such a whipsaw government, man. There's no stability in these policies. It could be any kind of clown moves into the driver's seat and takes us over a cliff, or takes us straight up a hill, or takes us just right into a brick wall. The old orange-haired beast of the past several years who was dominating stock markets, dominating the right-wing headlines, and having just a blast being a super rich champion of the imaginary poor, who of course he just shafted perpetually in his past, but now since they're supposedly had a nice little right-wing grassroots movement just looking for attention, he did pretty good. But now we've got the elderly Catholic statesman and 50 years of government wrangling and a full House of Democrats and a majority of senators by one vote. The Kamala Harris, the first female, first Asian, and first black vice president in history. So she's kicking ass. But, she's a cop too, so what can you do? A prosecutor probably put a lot of people in jail when she was in California. All stripes and persuasions, no holds barred. These prosecutors are hardcore, man. Prosecutors will be violated. Yeah, so, just waking up. It's too many thoughts in the little brain, but that's normal. So they're going to do some kind of big tax on the rich. I think this is what the orange-haired monster said that would crash the market. And of course you've got wonderful thespians like Harry Dent claiming an 80% crash in April. And then always joking about buying Bitcoin at $3,000, which is nice, Harry Dent, to say that. And says he'll quit his job, which of course is silly because he works for himself. So it's like basically saying he's just going to quit doing his own paperwork, which no one does that. They all have to do their own paperwork. That's the whole point of being alive. Paperwork. As my brother said, it's all about the paperwork. And a truer word was never spoken. If you want to excel and progress through this life of bureaucratic, jumbled, manic, depressive, over-the-cliff, constant, in-your-face, do this, do that, little sign your little Johnson on the dotted line and pitch in for the rest of society's efforts to move forward into a world of agreements. Well, then you got to do paperwork. That's why I think the Ethereum stuff is so, and appealing to so many people, because the blockchain platform is just massively useful for so many things. Other than, embryos making their own money. This is what Vitalik Buterin says he wants. He wants infants making money. Like, not making money, like, we'll make some money, bruh. Yeah, we'll make some money, oh. No, not like that. He wants them to make money like, I'm printing my own currency. Boo-boo. Goo-goo. $5. Yeah, so I guess, you can make your own currency. That'd be fun. I like the idea of selling your art and just making it some crazy inflated, like, Dutch tulip manic potential. I like that idea. Like, okay, I like to draw perverted things, like I'd like to draw people having sex and cartoon positions, and that's what really is fun for me, because I don't want to draw a still life. I don't want to draw a portrait, but I like to practice some kind of basic, perspective and, realistic drawing. But my realistic drawings look like, stick people. But I like it anyways, and I can do all sorts of crazy implied scenarios. But now I'm getting better, so I've been doing erotic art for many years now, and some of them are just insane, man. But people are insane. People do all sorts of things. I haven't included any really weird shit. Just your normal, people in a variety of sexual, encounters, in their little stick people lives. Generally, there's always like a little sense of someone going, and somebody else going, yeah, man. Something like that. I like to draw a lot of people with, certain anatomically exaggerated features for the fun of my artistic pursuits. It's a good time. I like erotic art, cartoons. What could be better? I can't think of a goddamn thing that would be better than erotic cartoons, man. Especially for the artist. How fun. You're sitting there trying to get that boob right. Get a little more eraser on that. Oh, it'll make that. You're looking at it and going, wow, it kind of turns me on, man. And then you're like, I win! With a pencil, I managed to turn myself on. I didn't have to turn on the TV, man. So, you don't really turn yourself on while you're drawing. You think about how this is going to turn somebody else on, which is probably just like the stock market. They're like, yeah, this imaginary price earnings ratio is going to turn you on. And then you go, ooh, look at that. Or they go, look at this fake raising of prices to some exorbitant, insane, stratospheric level. And they go, ooh, that turns me on, baby. I like pornographic cartoons better, personally. But, I only like mine. I don't really like other people's because they're not as good as mine. Mine are way better. They're funny. And I think funny sex is almost as good as Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse on the vacation, doing stuff. I don't know. I don't draw the mouse, but I invest in the mouse. I like the mouse. I think the mouse is a genius. Was it 100-year-old cartoon? Has it created this vast empire? What, 1 trillion people streamed on Disney Plus last year? All because some guy was sitting in his room, I think in Kansas City, drawing a mouse because he was so lonely and so broke. But look what happened. Can you imagine? Does he have offspring? Or do they have like a large, Walt Disney, family that is sitting around going, we made $25 billion last week. Let's have some more quiche and cobbler. Send the toddlers out to swing on the swings for a little while we smoke these giant spliffs that were flown in from Jamaica, just personally for our afternoon enjoyment. You think that's what the descendants of the mouse are doing? Well, I bet they're not drawing cartoons, but I am. Yes. So, anyways, I'm talking a lot this morning. I should probably go because I might say something bad. Although I don't know. Bitcoin, I think, will rally against the government's attempt to tax it into submission. But they're not done. Janet Yellen is determined to try and regulate the crypto world, and she will. And maybe we'll see some kind of 20-25% dip here in the next 2 weeks. Some kind of reaction to the potential of insane taxes on the rich coming through. But I mean, for some reason, the idea of taxing the rich It just never works, man. Try it since Roman times. It's just you're not going to get some equality against the rich for taxation because all that's going to happen is it's going to be trickle down economics. That's probably what Bush and Reagan meant is you tax us and we're just going to charge you more for everything. So I mean, if you're going to tax the hell out of the big royalty and the old royal landowners of the world, what are they going to do? They're going to raise the price of grain on your ass. They're going to raise, tithes at the church. Okay, tithes are now 12.5%. That's you need to put more in the tip jar here for the preacher. And then they're going to, charge you for gas. Everything's going to go up. So, I mean, you charge the rich, you charge everybody. So I guess that's, in a way, that's sort of like leading to inflation. It's all about inflation, man. They just want to raise inflation, man. They want it up. Because ultimately, even if you tax the rich and then you create inflation, it balances out so they still make money. All right. But the reality is equality in the financial classes is sort of a fantasy. If you want to climb and grind and make it in this American concept, which is probably the same in Russia, India, China, you got to be smart, you got to be present, you got to be easy to work with, you got to be really clever, you got to be looking ahead, and you got to have got to have heart, and you got to have grande cojones, senor. Bad trader. Wah, wah, wah. 再见. Peace out.